Hey, what is going on, Scorpios? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Incromancy Tarot. I'm still going to pull an Oracle card, but I'm going to do it at the end of the read. I just find like if I can get into the read as quick as possible, it's better. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Scorpios? What do we have for Scorpios? What can we see coming in for Scorpios, universe? All right, Scorpios, let's do this. You'll know why I laughed earlier or later. First thing I see, Scorpios, I feel like there's this connection brewing between you and this other person. Now, for some of you, I feel like this is fairly new, or you may have not even met this person yet, because there's definitely a sense of new energy here. Now, I mean, we start off with Page of Cups as the overall energy. I mean, and that in itself is where we start. You know, I feel like this is kind of a lot of fantasizing, you know, a lot of dreaming, a lot of thinking. And I feel like this person is just, I mean, I feel like the connection started quite intensely, which is not uncommon for Scorpio connections. Very intense energy. You know, we have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. So, I mean, it's very intense. And I feel like that's where we start, is a very physically intense. But what I was laughing at is I feel like this person, they're very intimidated by you. You know, they think about you, they fantasize about you, like I said, with the Page of Cups. But you in itself, very intimidating. You know, and we all know, Scorpios, that Scorpios have this intensity. And I feel like with this person, it's just, they're very intimidated by you. It's the way you look at them. But what I see is this person not showing it, or trying not to show it. We have the Seven of Swords, so I feel like this person, even though they're intimidated, I mean, they like what they see. You know, they're into it. They're into you. But it's almost like they're trying to hold that back, trying to not show their hand. But like I said, there's just something about you. You intimidate them, and with that intimidation, I feel like you kind of drop their walls. You know, and it's almost like the opposite of what they think they're doing. You know, it's like they think they're in some sort of control here, but they're not at all. Like I said, very, you know, find themselves being vulnerable with you, and it's almost like they think they're doing it because they want to do it, or they think they're doing it because they're getting somewhere with you, which is true on both accounts, but in a way that they think they're the one that's in control. And I have to laugh at that because Scorpios are very good at letting other people think what they want to think. Very good at being in control low key. With this person, I mean, they're not overthinking this. They're underthinking it really. But like I said, they feel like they're in some sort of control. They feel like everything they're doing is some sort of planned event, but it's not. Them being vulnerable, like I said, with a 9 of Wands and the 8 of Swords in reverse, they're doing everything just the way you want them to. And like I said, they're underthinking. They think they're overthinking it, but they're not. I mean, what I see is this person showing up, this person giving to you, this person putting in the work, putting in the effort, and just being reliable, being dependable, even though they don't really know that they're doing it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like they're doing these things thinking that they're doing what you want them to do, but because they want to do them, which it's not really like that. They're doing it because they want to do it. They're doing it because there's something inside you that brings it out of them. Like I said, that vulnerability, and Scorpios are very good at, getting to see that vulnerable side of people. I don't know what it is. My sister is a Scorpio and very good at it. And like I said, I kind of laughed because I thought of her. I remember when I was a kid, she's 10 years older than me. So when I was a kid, I felt like, she always used reverse psychology on me all the time. Like I said, I mean, this person is communicating with you. I feel like this person is having deep conversations with you. And what I feel like overall here is just like this person, it's like they think they want one thing, but they're getting another, but the other is what they really wanted. I know that's so confusing. Because I mean, with the King of Cups, it's an emotional connection. It's a deep emotional connection. It's this person. I don't feel like they knew what they wanted in a partner until they met you, and now it's all becoming clear. I mean, I see a foundation being built between the two of you. This is not just someone that's just trying to get in your pants and bounce. I mean, this person, I don't really feel like they knew at all what they wanted until they met you, and now that they know what they want, they're sure as hell not going to let go of it easy. They're not, they're putting in the work, they're showing up, they're being reliable, being consistent. But I can't shake that feeling of just this person thinks that they're in control here. Now, with this connection, very passionate but very loving. Passion and love coming together. It's a very intense energy. The zest for life. It's not just how they feel when they're with you, it's how they make you feel. So for all the things this person thinks they're doing, they're actually doing it right. I mean, I feel like this person's very nurturing, very caring, very open with you. And I don't feel like that's necessarily how they always been. But again, we go back to this 4 of Swords in reverse. Like they're underthinking this, which is ideal in a real relationship. We shouldn't be overthinking a relationship. You shouldn't have to think that hard. But like I said, I mean, this connection is, I see it as the beginning of a new journey. And not only we have this passionate connection, not only we have, I mean, it's like a love coated with with that intense energy. You know, I use this metaphor. It's like the peanut butter cup. You got peanut butter, which is great, and then you just coat it with chocolate, which is, you can't go wrong. You know, that's what I like to see. I like intense connections. But with all that, I feel like there's a friendship in between the two of you. You know, and I know that sounds, people think that sounds silly. You know, being friends with the person that you're with, obviously, right? Not here, not like this. I feel like there's a strong friendship, like your new best friend. You know, obviously you gotta be friends with your partner. Like I said, this is the beginning of a new journey. And we're only starting to uncover how deep this can go. You know, this is the Fool is the beginning of the tarot. It's the beginning of a journey. I mean, I feel like this is something that we're only scratching the surface, Scorpio. You know, this is only the beginning. And like I said, I mean, I see a foundation being built here. We also have the Hierophant, so I see a union between the two of you. Now, for some of you, that could be a more committed relationship, moving in together, getting married. I mean, the sky is absolutely the limit here. They just played right into you, though. I can't shake that. I can't unsee it. Like, they feel like somehow they're in control, but I feel like you're just letting them have that, knowing who's really in control. And like I said, I mean, it's not toxic at all. I mean, you know, they think they're paving the way, but really they're just a passenger. You know, you're driving the bus here. But again, going back to that, is very intense energy when you meet this person. It's just the way you look at them. You intimidate them, but it's like they don't want you to know that. Like they're trying to keep it a secret, but it's written all over their face. That's what I mean by they think they have some sort of control here, but you know, it's like those people that think they have cards to play. Oh, I got some cards to play. You know, no, they don't. You've seen their hand. I like it. With this person, I mean, we have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, so a lot of fire. I mean, we have a lot going on, to be honest with you. I mean, we have Libra, we have Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Feeling some Taurus as well. Scorpios. I love you, Scorpios. Like I said, my sister used to do that to me all the time. She reverse psychology. Used reverse psychology on me all the time. And like I said, it's only toxic if you're doing it out of a toxic place. Like, you know, I hope that makes sense. You know, I feel like it's only bad if you're doing it for bad purposes. You know, I feel like with this person, they don't really know what's good for them, but I feel like you're going to show them. Like I said, I don't feel like they expected to find someone, or they were really looking for anybody, but then they found you, and the game changed. You know, their objectives changed. They changed. Let's get a tarot. Let's get an oracle card. Universe, give us a card for Scorpio. a little bit longer than I'm used to. I do not know these cards off by heart, so Forbidden in reverse, which is the Candyman. Oh, by the way, it's classic horror oracle. I always think that everybody knows what I'm doing. I don't know them off by heart, so we're going to have to read. Okay, Candyman. The truth of the matter does not depend on our belief in it. Excuse me. Or whether we take it seriously. Some of the hardest outcomes in a situation may come for those who approach it dismissively. It can be tempting to keep a conjugative distance, especially from horrible circumstances, but we may do so at our own peril. Reverse meaning of this card is test the limits. You know, but I get it. I mean, Scorpios have so much intensity. So I get the intimidating factor. A friend of mine, she, pardon the language, but she has what she calls herself, this is self-proclaimed, resting bitch face. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's this intense look that she has, and only the real people get it. You know, but I have to laugh because it's, like I said, I mean, I look back now and I laugh about things like, you know, just the things like my sister, she's a babysit me a lot. Like I said, she's 10 years older and she's a Scorpio, and she played me pretty good. You know, I always thought I was the boss and I was in control, and turned out I wasn't. And it took me a long time to figure out, longer than I care to admit, even though I just did. But that's the thing. I mean, but she also had that too. I mean, she terrified me. She had that face. Like, don't mess around type face. I mean, I remember when she got mad, it was more intimidating than my dad. My dad, when I was a kid, I mean, obviously he was intimidating. My dad was in the military, and my dad was very strict. He had a very intimidating, you know, very no bullshit type energy coming off him. But it was consistent. You know what I mean? It's all I ever got from him. He was just straightforward. My sister, she was fun. You know, we had good times and stuff. We watched movies. You know, she's very loving, very nurturing. But when it's time to put her foot down, look out. I don't know. I remember one time, now this isn't really relevant, but I remember one time she was telling me to do the dishes. I was like, I'm not doing the dishes. And she's like, you got to do the dishes, Dad said. And I said, well, if I don't do the dishes, then you're going to get in trouble. And she's like, all right, well, he said he'd give you $10 if we did the dishes, but I guess I'll do it, and I'll get the $10. I'm like, what? I'm like, jumped over, started doing the dishes, finished them up. She's like, by the way, he didn't really say that. I was so pissed. But she was very good at telling me something and me believing it. I was very gullible when it came to her. She'd tell me shit like that all the time. Like Dad said, if the driveway's not shoveled by the time he gets home, you're in trouble. You're grounded. And my dad would ground me, so I go out and shovel the driveway. And he'd come home and he'd be like, "Oh, good, you shovel the driveway." And I was like, "Don said I had to." He's like, "I never said that. I thought Don was gonna do it." I told, you know. So basically, she used me to be in my dad's good graces, because like she got the job done and didn't have to get cold to do it. But anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.